some paper and scissors to demonstrate the answer to solve today's mission. Jesus, criminal or rescuer?
Great! Let's get started.
Now, this paper represents Jesus and the plan God had when he sent his son to earth. Now, first I'm going to do this fold, just like this. There we go. Now, when Jesus lived among us, he pointed the way to God with all of his words and actions. He was God's rescue plan to save everyone from all our sins. Now, I'm going to do another fold. So, did God create a big place, like a house, to put all the people who loved him? He could have, but he didn't. That was not his rescue plan. Another fold. Do this. And this. See what it's looking like?
Looks like an airplane.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So, did God make a giant airplane to take all the people who loved him to a different place? He could have, but he didn't. That was not his rescue plan. So, now I'm going to use the scissors. So, this is what I'm going to do. This end. There we go.
Watch your thumb.
There. Cut that bit off like that. Here we go. I'll set those aside. Put those in here. All right. So, did God... Look at that. Ta-da! What does it look like?
Rocket ship.
Mm-hmm. Did God fly all the people who loved him off the earth in a rocket ship? He could have, but he didn't. That was not his rescue plan either. So now I'm going to unfold it. Watch this. Ta-da! Did God send his one and only son to swap places with us for the punishment we deserve for all our sins? He did. Jesus was and still is his rescue plan. He took all of the punishment for our sins and paid it with his blood. That is why this paper is red. Jesus is God's rescuer.
That was a great object lesson. I love an object lesson. And it answered our mission today. Jesus, criminal or rescuer? He's our rescuer.
Mm-hmm. So, what chapter of Luke also answers the mission today?
The chapter in Luke is about Jesus dying as a criminal, even though he had never done anything wrong. Jesus was completely without sin in his life.
What? I thought he is our rescuer. Now you say he died as a criminal?
Now listen, I will explain.
Okay.
A sinful world called him a criminal,
Uh-huh.
but he was innocent. Our sins deserve the punishment of death, and everybody is guilty of sin.
Mm-hmm.
But he, an innocent man, loved everybody so much that he took all our sins on himself and paid the ultimate price of death so we can come to God. He swapped us for himself.
So, where in Luke is this swap?
It's in chapter 23, verses 32 to 49, when they crucified Jesus on the cross. Two others, both criminals, were led out to be executed with him. When they came to a place called the Skull, they nailed him to the cross. And the criminals were also crucified, one on his right and one on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing." The soldiers gambled for his clothes by throwing dice. The crowd watched, and the leaders scoffed. "He saved others," they said. "Let him save himself if he is really God's Messiah, the chosen one." The soldiers mocked him too by offering him a drink of sour wine. They called out to him, "If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself." A sign was fastened above him with these words, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals hanging beside him scoffed, "So you're the Messiah, are you? Prove it by saving yourself and us too while you're at it." But the other criminal protested, "Don't you fear God even when we have been sentenced to die? We deserve to die for our crimes, but this man hasn't done anything wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus replied, "I assure you, today you will be with me in paradise."
So the first criminal chose to keep his sin and didn't believe Jesus was the Son of God. And the second criminal chose to swap his sin with Jesus because he truly believed in him. The second criminal, even though he may have done some terrible crimes, became innocent when he expressed his faith in Jesus. He believed in his heart.
That's right.
Huh.
He entered into God's kingdom with Jesus. And we can enter into his kingdom when we believe with all our hearts Jesus died in our place, forgave all our sins, and have faith in God's rescue plan and that it will always work.
That is so awesome. Jesus really is the rescuer.